Let's go. Welcome to the video. I'm so excited to talk about this. You are going to change your life in this video. Your life is going to change, okay? This video is insane. Like, put your phone away, full screen the video. This video right here, in the next however long this video is about to be, even if it's an hour, it's going to change your life. Pay close attention. This makes the biggest difference. My life is epic, all right? I really, really enjoy it because I do this, because I follow these principles, all right? My life is completely changed, okay? In business, in dating, in friendships, in just life in general, literally everything. We're going to talk about how to get what you want out of life, all right? This video is insane. Turn everything off. Get rid of the phone. We're about to get into it, all right? If you like the content, go ahead and subscribe. I just want to preface this video by saying that this is not miracle work, all right? Some things just won't change. Some things are impossible to change, all right? Understand that, right? And so my examples that I put here, just so that everyone's on the same page, is people, physiological stuff, problems, and voodoo magic, right? So with people, you have to expect that nobody's going to change. You just have to accept that, all right? Don't like, I'm not telling you to like harass people to get whatever you want. And then the other one is physiological stuff. Like if you have certain problems physiologically, like you can't solve them. Like this is, again, it's not voodoo magic, right? Like if you can't walk, like not tomorrow, you're not going to be able to walk. Like that's not what this is about. And then voodoo magic, I didn't really know what to write there, but like, winning the lottery tomorrow, or just like, saying I want to make $1 million tomorrow. Like that's not going to, like, this doesn't do that. Okay. And with that being said, this is not easy, okay? This is fucking difficult, all right? This is very, very difficult to live this way, all right? To live the life you want to live. I do what I want to do for the most part, okay? There is an extent to it, right? Like, I can't get up right now and travel across the world if I really want. I mean, honestly, I probably could, but it wouldn't be a good idea, right? Like, everything is within reason, all right? Everything is within reason. And so you have to understand that you're not just going to like overnight change. This takes time. It's difficult. There's a lot of work involved. And that's why this video is so long, is because there's a lot that you have to do in order to make sure this works. So with that being said, let's go ahead and preface this video. Not preface, but get into point number one, congruency. Congruency. Pay close attention because this is like the guiding principle. All right. When your thoughts, words, and actions align. All right. Now, I have this little triangle over here for behavior alignment. As you can see, thoughts, words, and actions, they all align, they all come together, right? That is how you become congruent in your actions, in your speech, and what you do, right? This is how you get people to like you. This is how you close sales in business. This is how you start a business, when you're congruent in your thoughts, words, and actions, okay? And then your thoughts, only your thoughts, okay? We're going to get into that in the next part. So not other people's thoughts, but your thoughts. All right. And just as an example, let's say I am about to go to a party, right? And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, I might mess this up. I might be nervous in this party. Maybe people will think I'm weird. Well, if I'm at the party, because of my thoughts, my words and actions will align with someone who's scared of embarrassing themselves. So maybe I'll like touch my clothes a lot, or I'll be closed off when I'm talking to people, or I'll be nervous and stutter in my speech. And all of that says that you're not congruent. And so people can sniff that out. People are good at sniffing out congruency. I didn't write that up here, but people are good at sniffing out your behavior. All right. Like inherently, we are just nasty at sniffing out behavior. Becoming congruent means that you have to stop caring what others think and do what you want to do. All right. These are the guided principles. This is the most important part. If you don't understand this first part, then none of the rest of this makes sense. It doesn't matter. Click off the video, right? You have to stop caring what other people think, and you have to do what you want to do, okay? Now, your thoughts, part two, can only occur from the past, the present, or the future, the Holy Spirit, information, and other people's behavior. So let me explain that. Past, present, future. You have thoughts based on things that happened in the past, which you think might happen in the future, and what's going on right now. The Holy Spirit, right? God gives you thoughts. Random thoughts pop into your brain. Things happen, like the infinite void. That's what it's referred to in psychological terms, or philosophical terms, the infinite void, right? There's infinite information that's always out there to be collected, and then new information, right? So like if my light right here fell over, that's new information, and I can have a thought about that. Or knowledge. So like you're gaining thoughts based off of what I'm talking about in this video or what's written on this board. And then other people's behavior. So again, other people's behavioral alignment, you can capture thoughts based off their alignment, right? So your thoughts exist in the present. They're not real. They exist right now, and then they go away. So your reality creates your identity. Your identity is your repeated being, which you do over and over and over again, right? So the more of your reality that you have, the more that you build an identity based off of that, okay? This is like basic Freudian psychology right here, okay? Child, you have things happen. You have thoughts about those things. They create your reality. And then over time, that creates your identity of who you are. And your identity creates your personality. So personality is very, very important. Your personality and who you are, your character, that is going to define what you do in your day-to-day. That's going to define how you get whatever you want is based off your character and your personality and the things you do, okay? Understand that. You are who you are because of who you've been. And you've been the person that you are because of your thoughts and your actions, right? That's what because of your behavioral alignment. You are who you are because of who you've been. Understand that, okay? So your thoughts exist in the present. So the only way to change who you are and be able to get whatever you want is by fixing your thoughts. Because once you fix your thoughts, then you see alignment here and you can become congruent. So here's how you fix your thoughts. First, positive self-talk. This is the biggest thing you can do. I have been the guy who talks negatively about myself, and to other people. Don't be that guy. All right, when you make a mistake, accept a mistake, move on. Okay, you don't have to sit there and fester on stuff all the time, right? I always have positive self-talk as much as I can. I'm doing good today. I'm doing a good job. Things are going really well. I'm happy right now. I'm enjoying my time. I can do this, right? Having that positive self-talk. I used to be the guy that in my head, I would all the time say, oh, you're so stupid. I can't believe you did this. I can't believe you're this way. Why do you act like this? That is a negative frame of mind. And you cannot have good thoughts and congruent thoughts and be actually convicted in yourself without doing something to that extent. You have to remove the negative self-talk. The other one is shadow work. So this one's really big. I talk about this all the time on my channel. Basically, there is a version of you that is created after trauma happens. And your brain takes a snapshot of that and buries it inside of your psyche. And you will only operate to that level. Your beliefs stem from some of that stuff as well. So you will only operate to that level. So when times get rough and the particular trauma starts to come out a little bit, your brain says, no, remember, this is who I am. This is who I am. This is who I was. So when you do shadow work, you basically go find the trauma in your life. You look at the trauma and you say, oh, it's actually not that bad. And then you rewire your brain to understand that I am no longer that person anymore who had these bad limiting self-talk beliefs or limiting ideas in this trauma in my life. I am now this person, because you're always changing, right? So when you start to believe that, that's the shadow work. The reason it's called shadow work is because you were going into the shadows and finding the problems, and you're coming out and going over it, right? I have a video on my channel somewhere that goes over it. It's like 45 minutes long. I'm not going to explain it anymore. And then being congruent long enough. So again, you fix your thoughts by being congruent with your words, actions, and thoughts, right? If that makes sense. So you have to basically, like, here's the part that you fix: positive self-talk and shadow work. And then you become congruent because you've done that, right? And so then this is just repeating it. So it's repeating this stuff: positive self-talk and shadow work. So that's how you fix your thoughts. It's a very simple part, and you just repeat it. Right? It's common sense, basically. If you think that you will fail, you will fail. If you think you'll fail, you'll fail. It's very, very true. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe in your thoughts and actions, you cannot become the person you want to become. You cannot get whatever you want in this life. Because if you think you're going to fail, then you're going to fail. So how are you going to get what you want if you're failing? Right? So this is how you know who you are. So we fixed our thoughts. Right? We talked about this positive self-talk and then doing the shadow work. And then understanding your beliefs, right? So, and that goes in again with the shadow work, right? It's the same thing. Understanding why you are the person you are, why you believe the things that you believe in, using your weakness and building a strength from it. So it's like Batman, right? Like Batman, he like didn't like bats, and then he became Batman, and his parents died and whatever, right? So you have your weaknesses in your life. There's things that you're not good at. Like there's things that you're weak at, or your weaknesses. Build those into your strengths. Like I used to have really bad anxiety, bro. I do not have anxiety anymore to any degree, all right? Because I've turned it into a strength. And then adapt. So adapting over time, right? Doing these things over time is how that you become convicted in yourself, all right? And this is how you check all the boxes at once. This is how your thoughts, words, and actions align, okay? Do you want to be congruent? Because being congruent, you can't, like, I'm teaching you how to become congruent. You can't become congruent without doing the rest of the stuff. And once you become congruent, that's how you actually do whatever you want. Because that's on this side of the board, all right? So if you're going to get there, you have to check all the boxes. And you do that by self-conviction, right? So once you understand your thoughts and you have conviction, the words and actions become congruent because you understand who you are. When you stop caring what others think and you do what you want to do and you fix your thought patterns, you're now congruent, okay? This is how you become congruent. And in that congruency, you stop caring even more what others think, and you continue doing what you want. You see? You fix your thoughts, now you do the guided principles, and then you officially become congruent. So this is how you become congruent, all right? Now that we've gone over how to become congruent, you've done the shadow work, you've done the hard things, now we're going to talk about the specific steps to become congruent, all right? The things that you need to do to be more congruent in your day-to-day, right? And again, this is how you get whatever you want, all right? How you get whatever you want. Like I said, my life is very, very good. I win at dating. I win at relationships with friends. I win at sales. I win at business, all sorts of stuff. I'm always winning. I'm always happy. I'm always fulfilled, okay? Because I did this first part. So now you understand that. Let's go ahead and get into part two, the things that you can do to get there, all right? And be in control of it. I have written here in control. The reason why is because a lot of people are not in control of their getting whatever they want, right? They do whatever they want and they're like violent and they hurt people and they do stupid stuff, right? You become in control of it when you do the things on this side of the board. So, purpose. First things first, have a mission that's greater than yourself. Do it all the time. Right? Focus on your purpose all the time. Always do the work that's required of you. Be the man that you're supposed to be. Have a purpose. Have a reason above yourself for doing what you're doing. Whether that's God, whether that's your family, whether that's your friends, whatever it is, whether your circumstances, there's all sorts of reasons to have a purpose. One mission above everything else. My mission right now is to build the greatest marketing agency of all time. I'm doing that because I want to help my clients. I want to succeed in life, and I want to do something above myself. I want to be able to look back and say, look at all these people that I helped. Look at these lives that I changed. Look at the impact that I made, right? And then do it all the time. And keep in mind, your purpose will change. So it doesn't mean that like at one point you're just going to like have a purpose and then your life's perfect. And like it's going to adapt over time, right? My purpose is to build the greatest marketing agency right now. In the future, it might change. I have a video on my channel on how to do purpose, like how to build your purpose. If you don't have one, go check it out. It's somewhere, anywhere, but you have to have this. As a fucking man, you have to have a purpose. If you don't have a thing that you can look at, it's written on my wall right there. I look at it every single morning and I say it out loud to myself because it's the most important thing. And the reason why is because you will always consider your purpose when decision making, okay? Part of the reason you don't do what you want to do and you're not congruent in your life is because you don't make decisions based off your purpose. You have to make decisions based off your purpose, right? So I'll look at a situation and say, okay, well, I can do this option or this option. Well, which one leads me closer to my purpose, right? This one leads me closer to God. This one leads me closer to getting that, retiring my family. This one brings me closer to that business goal. This is why purpose is so important. You have to have one. It's a prereq for everything else. All right. For the next one, provide value. Provide value to others. You get what you want when you provide value. Okay. So think about this. You have a purpose. Your purpose should be to provide value to some extent. All right. When you're providing value to other people, you get things. You get the life that you want because you're now valuable. When you become valuable, you are now more desired, right? A diamond is more desired than a stick, right? It's more desired because it provides value. So how do you provide value? You become valuable to other people, right? So you learn a skill, whatever that skill is, and we're going to talk about skills here in just a second. You get good at that skill, and then you learn how to sell it or monetize it, and then you do that for a very long time, right? This is the basic essentials, all right? And when I say sell it, I'm talking about specifically like with work, with business. And then do it for a long time. So get like really, really good at it. Do what you have to do to provide value and then get nasty at it, bro. You get good at this by doing it for a long, long time. You will get really good at a skill, okay? I've had people tell me all the time. I'll say like, man, I'm having this issue in my business. I don't know what to do, and I'm in this position. And they're like, dude, just do it for like 2 more years, and you'll get it. It'll make sense. You're in the position you're in because you haven't done it long enough. Also, providing value makes you valuable across domains, and this is why this is very, very important too. When you provide value in any way, shape, or form, it makes you valuable across domain. You're desirable, right? Whether that's in relationships or this is really like with people. So this all is about people. But like, for example, I had a testimonial for a website job that I did earlier in the year. I used that testimonial to sell my agency at one point, like a completely different service. But people see, okay, this guy's been valuable. I have some testimonials from some stuff I did years ago, and I can show that to people now, and they can say, okay, this guy provides value. He's been in the business for a long time. It's across domains, right? If you provide value, like you want to have a good dating life, like provide value to a group of people. Like now you have money to go on dates, and people see that shit. People see that. Like girls will see that stuff. If you're like, I'm having a problem with chicks. Yeah, bro, because you're not valuable, right? I have a YouTube channel and I have an agency and I have all this stuff. Like I have the ability to protect and provide for a woman. So why wouldn't a woman be interested in that? So this is why it helps me across domains. So I can provide in other situations. I can protect in other situations. My time is now more valuable. See, I become valuable. Now, like I have things going on during my day to where I'm not accessible all the time. I become a scarce resource, right? So people consider that as value. They're like, okay, so if I want to get this guy's attention, like I gotta talk to him more. I gotta try to have a communication with him because he's busy, right? He's a busy guy, all right? Women like that shit. They want you to be busy. They want you to sit around on the couch all day. You want to have a good dating life. Be valuable. Right? And that's how it works across domains, right? When you provide value to somebody, you now are valuable to everyone to some degree, right? It's like the same thing with when you see people walking around with like cameras and stuff, people automatically like assume that that person might be a celebrity or something because you're you're doing your thing. People will see you in action and they're like, oh, maybe that guy is valuable. Like maybe he's someone interested that I want to talk to. All right, next, we play games, we win. So here are the only games that matter. Your body, your mind, your relationships, your finances, and your soul. All of these 5 games, you have to play them. You have to play those 5 games, right? These are the most important games to play. You need to understand how to grow your body, right, and get in good physical condition. You need to understand how to keep your mind at ease, how to keep your mind, like how to have emotional control, and how to use your mind for things in this world. You need to learn how to have good relationships, whether that's dating or with friends. You need to learn how to make money, but not only make money, but use that money to make more money, right? You can use your money to make more money, save money, all sorts of different things, right? You have to learn how to play those games. And your soul. How can you play any of these games? How can you be happy if you can't even get right with God, right? You don't have a good relationship with God or a higher power or whatever you believe in. You have to get right with God. How is God going to provide for you if you can't get right with him, right? These 5 games are required. These 5 games right here are required. You must start them now. You need to start every single one of those games that I mentioned before. All right? You need to do the fitness thing. You need to understand relationships, friendships. You need to understand psychology. You need to understand meditation, like how to fix your mind. I had a whole video where I talked about 10 things that 10 masculine traits your dad never taught you, right? Go check that video out after that. I just posted it like a week ago. It's a great video, and it talks about all of this stuff. Okay, you have to learn those things. You have to learn them, and you have to apply them. Okay, you have to do that stuff. This also gives you power, abundance, and freedom across domains. Just like mentioned before, when you have value, when you provide value, people see you in action, and now you have an easier time getting what you want. Now let's move on to the next part. Other games that you can play, and like to keep it simple, it's just like environments you can be in and things you can do to enhance your life and your life quality, right? So play the ones you're good at and learn the ones that you want to learn, right? Again, stop caring what others think and do what you want to do. So for example, there are certain conversations where I know a lot about those things because of some of this other stuff where I want to have a conversation with somebody else based off of the stuff that I know. There are conversations that I want to have, all right? So I know how to direct a game, I know how to direct a conversation to whatever domain I want to talk about. Right? And if I'm talking to someone who does not want to talk about the same conversation as me, then I don't have to talk to them. Right? And I understand that I'm congruent. I'm like, all right, well, this is what I believe in. This is who I am. And these are my thoughts. And then I'm talking to somebody about business and they don't understand business at all. Like, okay, we don't match up. Right? So I don't care about what that person thinks to an extent to be able to say like, hey, it was nice meeting you, being nice to them, and then walking away, going on my own, doing my own thing. Right? I don't need to keep talking to that person. Okay? Obviously you're nice to them, but what I'm saying is have conversations you want to have. And even just like other things, right? I'm good at chess. I'm not good at golf. Why would I go out of my way to like play golf when I can play chess, right? Play games you're good at, right? Again, this shows more value, right? This shows more like it makes you valuable across domains because people see you and they're like, oh, like he's good at chess, or he's good at golf, or he's good at pool. Like play those games. I don't know how to line dance, so I'm not going to play that game. All right, that game doesn't work for me. Number 7, saying what you want to do. So if you do number 3, this works. So you have to do number 3. You have to have self-conviction. And once you have self-conviction, you can say what you want to say. This kind of ties into what I was saying before about communication. When you say what you want to say, you know how to have hard conversations. Again, not caring what other people think about you. Have hard conversations. Yes, as an adult, you're going to have to do hard things and you're going to have to be congruent, whether that's a sales call or talking to a client or talking to someone that pissed you off that's in your life and you have to address it, right? You can have hard conversations. And don't be scared of other people's opinions. Again, we talked about this. Stop caring what other people think, right? When you are using other people's opinions, like your thoughts are full of other people's opinions and you're caring what other people think, you're not congruent and you can't get what you want, right? If you're doing something out of the sake of, well, somebody else told me I should do this, then you're not congruent. You have to fix your thoughts, right? And then nice to strangers and kind to friends. So always be nice to strangers, be polite, right? Be kind to your friends. You should always be kind with your friends. So, perfect example, like I had a friend of mine that was trying to like have a conversation with me and they like kept texting me, like asking me to have a conversation. And I just straight up said, I was like, hey, like I'm working right now. You can see that I'm working. I love you, bro, but I need you to stop texting me right now. We can have this conversation later, right? So I was kind about it. I wasn't trying to be rude. I was like, can you just like respect my time, please? We'll talk about this another time. All right. It's one thing to send one text message. It's another thing to call me 15 times. I got shit going on. I'm on my purpose. I don't have time to sit there and talk all day. Right. And so I said what I wanted to say. Congruent. Now for number 8, and this ties in with number 6, by the way. Your frame. Only let opportunities come to you. This is like the biggest thing right here. If you learn anything from this video, all right, you have to let opportunities come to you. You get what you want by letting things come to you. You don't chase things. You need to stop chasing things. You need to stop being so urgent, bro. The reason why girls don't like you is because you're so urgent. You always want to, that's a problem with relationships. You get super lustful and you're so like, I got to set this date and I got to go see her and we got to hang out and do all this stuff together. It's like, relax, bro. Relax. All right. I'll tell you a perfect story about this. There was a girl that I met about a month ago, and we are going to dinner this week, and it's like set in stone. All right. In that time period, it was back and forth. Like I hit her up, We chatted for a second. I think she was doing something. Then she hit me up. I was trying to do something. Then I hit her up and she was trying to do something. And that was a month. Over the span of a month, we've had like 3 conversations. And we finally like, all right, like we've both been kind of bullshitting. Let's like get this set up, right? Let's make it happen. But the thing is, she kept wanting to talk to me and communicate with me and go on the date with me because I wasn't so urgent. I wasn't so urgently trying to see her. See, like if you're having a bad time with dating, like you're urgent, right? I wanted to go on a date with this girl. So what did I do? Well, I texted her. I let her know what my availability looked like. And I didn't say anything else because I had other things going on because I don't have time to sit there and wait for this chick to text me back and say when she's available. You have to stop being so urgent, bro. Stop chasing people. It says it right here. Stop being so urgent. When you stop chasing people, you let them come to you. She came back to me and said, hey, I'm free this week, yada, yada, yada. We can hang out, right? And if I'm not free, guess what? We're going to cancel the date again. But you know what? I want to see her this time. It's been a while. So guess what? We're probably going to end up seeing each other. But I wasn't so urgent. I didn't need, imagine if I was texting her all the time and saying, hey, when are you free? I'm free today. Are you free tonight? When can we hang out? All this. She'd be like, this guy's fucking weird. Why do I need to talk to him? Right? Another thing, volume. Volume kills. You have a sales conversation. You talk to the guy. You turn out that this is going to be a really big sale. Well, he stops answering you after a couple of days. I used to be the guy that would sit there and think, oh, this guy's going to close. He's going to close. He's going to close. Just the next meeting. He'll close. Well, guess what? He'd never close, and I'd rely on this guy, right? And so now I'm like, oh, my life is screwed up. This big sale never went through. Well, that happened because I was always focused on one sale going through, all right? As soon as I started doing volume, as soon as I started doing this stuff all the time, things started to come into my frame, right? You still have to take action. I'm not saying just sit there and wait for things to come to you. That's not how that works. All right. You still have to take action, but put in the volume, put in the time, and stop being so urgent. Stop bothering people. All right. That's pretty much what this is. All right. You want to get what you want. It usually boils down to like with other people. If I'm just being honest, you want to get things with other people. Stop being so urgent and talk to everybody. All right. Number 9, outcome dependency. This is how you never get what you want. So you want to never get what you want. Be dependent on the outcome. Right. So again, think of the guiding principles. Stop caring what other people think, and you do what you want. When you do what you want, the outcome doesn't matter, right? You do what you want to do. This is what I felt like doing. This doesn't need to happen. It's not a need, okay? You stop being outcome dependent. That's how you win, all right? Again, and we talked about this with the frame as well, all right? So how to stop being outcome dependent? You change your goals, right? And your goals stem from your purpose. But also, just your goal in general. If your goal is to make $10,000 this month and your purpose is to build the greatest marketing agency of all time, if you didn't make $10,000 this month, but you're still building the greatest marketing agency of all time, you're still on your purpose. You're still doing what you have to do, right? You're setting like expectations for the wrong things, right? Don't let your goals be affected by other people. Like that's kind of one of the biggest things here too. Is like, stop relying on other people. Like, I'll tell you, my last relationship, I was relying on that to go really, really well. Like, I was relying on her. It's not her fucking problem. It's my problem. I shouldn't be in a relationship that's in a situation like this. All right? But my goal was to make it work. I don't need it to work. I got other things going on. I got all this stuff going on. I don't need it to work. Allow things to enter your frame. Let people come to you. Let things come to you. All right? Play games that you win. All right? Again, this kind of ties back to everything. This is kind of the wrap up for the video. You become outcome dependent. You never get what you want. You stop by doing everything else. You be congruent and you be convicted in what you do. And that's how you stop being outcome dependent. Basically, you get whatever you want by not caring. It's not people. It's not your business. It's congruency. That's where the problems are. Your problems are occurring because you're not congruent, right? And then you are outcome dependent. You have to be congruent in your actions, and your outcome dependency no longer matters, right? Purpose, frame, playing games that you win, congruency, and conviction, all right? That is how you no longer become outcome dependent, and that is how you get whatever you want because you don't need anything. So it doesn't matter what happens, right? Positive momentum. So you know what to do. Now go do it, right? You understand. Be congruent. Fix your thoughts. Provide value. Have a purpose. Play games that you win. Say the things you want to say, you do your frame, and don't be outcome dependent. That's how you get what you want. It's the formula, right? And the thing is, once you have positive momentum and you have the ball rolling, it becomes easier, right? So here's kind of like a picture of me. In 2022, I had a hard time getting out of bed, doing my work. I was not happy in my life. I never got what I wanted. My dates would cancel, my sales calls would cancel. My business wasn't doing well. I wasn't making good money. I wasn't happy. My friends weren't happy with me. I wasn't enjoying my circle. Like nothing. There was nothing that I was enjoying in my life. Just being honest. But I started rolling the ball. I'm 3 years later. My business is doing well. My dating life's doing well. My friendships are doing well. I'm very happy. Like I said, I get what I want. You already know what to do. Like there's things that you want in your life, whether that's a good physique, or you want a stronger mind, you want to get rid of anxiety, you want stronger relationships, you want happier friends, you want better finances, you want to have a better relationship with God. You know what to do, all right? But this is how you get there. You have to do things to get there. You have to do things in order to get there, okay? You have to start rolling the ball. And everything in this video will help you get there. And the last thing is you have to wait, right? You will get there. Understand that. You are going to get there. But the golden rule is to never, ever quit, okay? You have a mountain to climb. If you want to get whatever you want, the only way that you can get there is by climbing that mountain, all right? I don't have to go to a job. There's nobody to tell me what to do, all right? I enjoy my life, and I can do whatever I want to do. You understand that, all right? Because I've filled up some of these buckets. I can do whatever I want to do. Right now, I can go do whatever I want to do. I want to film this video because it's for my purpose. But I can do whatever I want to do. And you have to understand that. You have to understand. When you become congruent, fix your thoughts, and you do all of the other things mentioned here, you have a happy and fulfilled life, and you get to do the things you want to do.